Today, we're going to be talking about the two scariest teams in the NFL at the current moment: the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The reasons why: their defenses, man. Their defenses have been amazing the past couple weeks. Both of these teams struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, and they've figured it out. They're both on win streaks at the moment, and they're set to play each other Week 17 in Miami, and that might be a game that could determine a playoff spot for the Dolphins and could determine the division for the Patriots. The Patriots play the Bills on Monday, and that's going to be one of the best games of the season so far, in my opinion. It's in Buffalo. The Patriots desperately need it if they want to win the division, and the Bills desperately need it if they want to win the division. So that's going to be a great matchup. We'll see a top defense versus Josh Allen, who is hopefully going to turn it around as he's starting to been the past couple weeks, but hasn't really played anybody. They played a decent team in the Colts and got killed. So he plays a great defense, and we'll see how it goes against New England. Now, the reasons why the Dolphins have been so good is because they're running this cover zero. We saw against the Ravens. They blitz everybody, they pressure everybody, and you just have no time to get the throw off. And the reason the Patriots defense is so good is because Bill Belichick still exists. Bill Belichick is still one of the greatest defensive coaches. He's the greatest defensive coach ever. He's the greatest defensive coach active right now. Although some other coaches, Brian Flores, kind of giving him a run for his money with the teams they're doing. But last year, the Patriots were missing 8 defensive starters. They opted out to the COVID, and they're back, and they've been playing great. They got Kyle Van Noy from the Dolphins, which I don't know why they released him, but he's been good for New England. He was on New England, went to Miami, they signed him to a big contract, and then they cut him, and New England, of course, picks him up, because that's what New England does. If you cut a guy, New England's going to take care of it. Both these teams, they play different styles of defense, but it works. The Patriots' whole kind of game plan is, you're not running the ball on us, but we're going to run the ball on you, and you got to stop it. They're going to control the game with time, they're going to control the clock management, and you got to find another way to beat them because you're not going to beat them with the ground game. But luckily for Buffalo, they don't do any of that, so that's going to be a great matchup as Buffalo doesn't want to run the ball, and the Patriots won't let you, so that'll go well together. The Dolphins defense, they have great corners, and they're able to run this cover zero look as we saw against the Panthers and the Ravens. Those are the two more effective games. They did it against the Jets and Joe Flacco. Flacco did a good job beating it from times, just because he's Flacco and just seeing every coverage there is. But it's the end of the day, it's the Jets. The Dolphins, we saw them get this punt block against the Panthers. It just shows that their special teams getting better because their special teams sucked at the beginning of the season. They're starting to turn it around. But the Dolphins defense with this cover zero, they just said all of our corners are on an island, but you're not going to beat them because on one end you got Xavier Howard, top corner. On the other end you got Byron Jones, top corner. And then you got Javon Holland at safety, who's been just playing amazing recently. He had this one pick on Cam that was just a really nice play. It was they had a triple stack receiver set, and he just picked him up greatly. And you see here, you just got Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick. He can explain any coverage. He's this video right here. He's explaining why you can't run the ball against them, just the way they look. And he basically just says, you can't run the ball. You have to find another way to beat us. And you're not going to beat them throwing the ball either because they're the Patriots. You got to take, they're going to give you 10 yards. They're going to give you 5 yards, and you just got to take it until you're in the end zone. They're really tough to score on, and I'm kind of surprised the way it is now that the Dolphins beat them in week 1, but they did. So the big thing with these teams is they both have similar quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Tua Tagovailoa. Their job is to get the ball out quick, find a completion, and just not manage the game, but just keep the game going smoothly. There's the pick from Javon Holland you see there. So Tua and Mac are both kind of similar, both Alabama products, and their job is to find guys, get the ball in your playmakers' hands, and don't turn the ball over. That's really their only jobs at this point in their careers. They're both young, but they really have the same setup. And the Patriots and the Dolphins both kind of have the same setup. Belichick and Flores both worked together. Flores was a linebackers coach for Belichick, got the Dolphins head coaching job, turned Miami into New England South, and now he's turning it into Alabama South, getting all these Alabama guys. And he's doing probably the best job of any Belichick product at being a mini version of Belichick, just with the defense and the style of play. He hasn't got the run game that Belichick always does, but he's got the quick passing RPO game down so far this season. And so if I'm the Bills, I'm scared, man. I don't like this situation at all. The Dolphins have a second-year quarterback. The Patriots have a rookie quarterback, and you got to deal with them in your division forever. This is supposed to be Josh Allen's time, right? It's supposed to be the time the Bills take over and have a nice run in the AFC East. And they may not even win it this year, let alone the future. The way these teams are looking, I feel bad for the Jets. They're just going to get killed. All the 6 times the Jets play these teams, the Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins, there's no way the Jets win in any single one of those. You know, like, if you're a Jets fan, you really don't have much hope. Just keep stocking up draft picks for 2030 when these guys started to regress because you got nothing in the near future. The way these two teams and the Bills are set up. The Bills don't really have the elite defense these two have. They're taking the opposite. They got the offense. These two got the defense. And so it's going to be great to watch them go forward because they're both really young, but right now they both have elite defenses, and that's why if I'm any team in the NFL, these are the guys I don't want to play. If I'm Kansas City, if I'm Indy, I don't want to see New England or Miami in the playoffs. Now, New England's definitely probably going to get in. Like, they got a lot higher chance than Miami does, but Miami was 1-7, and now they're 5-7. If you look at their schedule, they got the Giants this week, probably put them at 6-7, and then after that, you got a bye leading into a game against the Jets. So they're looking at 7-7 and right in the playoff hunt. Their final 3 games of the season, like I said, they played the Patriots last week of the season, so that'll be a huge game. But you got the Saints, haven't looked too hot, another loss to Dallas. Now Taysom Hill will probably turn that around a bit from the Trevor Siemian days, but New Orleans isn't looking too scary as they were before. That's a Monday night game. And then you have Tennessee. Now Tennessee was looking good for a while, Derrick Henry, but he's out now. They didn't look too good. They haven't looked good in the past couple weeks, so we'll see how that goes. They just lost to New England. We'll see how Miami can handle them. But you got a bye week to prepare for those 2 games, and you got New England. So you could potentially be looking at these teams. Patriots probably sitting at like 10-6, maybe 9-7, and the Dolphins sitting at 9-7 as well. Patriots maybe gets a couple more wins, and they're looking for the division, and the Dolphins just looking for a wild card. Now, Week 17 matchup in Miami, they should almost flex it to primetime because that's going to be a great game. These 2 teams will probably stay hot heading into that game, and it could determine their seasons, and it could determine some other people's seasons, because like I said, you don't want to play these 2 teams. They're the scariest teams in the NFL right now.